Today on Rappler. The Philippine Solicitor-General files a petition to cancel Bamban Mayor Alice Guo's birth certificate. Former President Rodrigo Duterte faces a plunder and graft complaint for construction contracts allegedly cornered by Bong Go's family. Inflation slows down to 3.7% in June 2024 after rising for 4 straight months. Keir Starmer is the new UK Prime Minister in a landslide victory by the Labour Party. And FELIP, also known as SB19's Ken, releases his first solo album, 7 Sins. Solicitor-General Menardo Guevara, the government's primary legal counsel, files a petition to cancel Bamban Mayor Alice Guo's certificate of live birth with a Tarlac court on Friday, July 5. Guevara says the mayor was not eligible for late registration. She did not submit the required supporting documents. It was her alleged father who belatedly registered her birth certificate, even if she was already 19 years old at the time. Glaring inconsistencies between her birth certificate and other public records, and the local civil register's violation of existing PSA-NSO rules when it granted her late registration. The Bamban mayor is linked to an illegal pogo raided in her town. A quo warranto case is set to be filed against Guo, which may strip her of her Filipino citizenship. Former President Rodrigo Duterte faces his second criminal suit post-presidency. Former Senator Sonny Trillanes files criminal complaints of graft and plunder against Duterte and Senator Bong Go Friday, July 5 before the Justice Department. The case involves Davao contracts awarded to construction firms owned allegedly by the father and sibling of Go, Duterte's right-hand man and former special assistant. The complaints are based on a 2018 report by the Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism. Trillanes claims CLTG Builders and Alfrego Builders and Supply were awarded government projects from 2007 to 2018, valued at a staggering amount of at least 6.6 billion pesos. PCIJ also reports CLTG is among the companies in the Davao region with the most number of delayed projects. The name CLTG stands out because it is also Go's initials, Christopher Lawrence Tesoro Go. After 4 straight months of rising inflation, the rate of increase in the prices of goods and services finally eases to 3.7% in June. The latest figure is lower than the 3.9% recorded in May 2024 and the 5.4% in June 2023. The year-to-date average inflation is 3.5%, keeping it within the government's goal of 2% to 4%. The Ilocos region posts the lowest inflation outside NCR at 2.8%. The uptick in food prices also remains a concern. Food inflation rises from 6.1% in May to 6.5% in June, primarily due to higher prices of vegetables and meat. The National Economic and Development Authority says the onset of the rainy season affected supply and pushed the inflation rate of vegetables to 7.2% in June from 2.7% in May. Keir Starmer vows to bring change to Britain as its next Prime Minister after his Labour Party surges to a landslide victory in a parliamentary election on Friday, July 5. The win ends 14 years of often tumultuous Conservative government. The centre-left Labour was set to win a massive majority in the 650-seat parliament as voters punished Rishi Sunak's Conservatives for a cost-of-living crisis, failing public services, and a series of scandals. Starmer says in a victory speech, "Change begins now." About 250 Conservative lawmakers were ousted in the crushing defeat, including a record number of senior ministers and former Prime Minister Liz Truss. A Conservative tells Reuters, "It is not all Rishi Sunak's fault. It is Boris Johnson and Liz Truss that have led the party to disaster." FELIP, also known as SB19's Ken, releases his first solo album, 7 Sins, Friday, July 5. FELIP says the 9-track album is a, quote, journey of acknowledging human shortcomings. The songs represent the 7 sins in the Bible, ending with the song Ache, which talks about redemption and acknowledgement. The singer-songwriter calls it a genre-bending album that shows his different sides and stories. He says, "It took 7 months to write, record, and mix the tracks for the album, working with Luke April of Player 2 and producer Isagani Palabiab." The album also features collaborations with Belgian Filipinos Sire Reguenth for Lust and hip-hop group Player 2 for Gluttony. FELIP is set to hold his first solo concert on July 27, 2024. And that's today's wrap. I'm Giselle Barrientos. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.